Hey guys, and welcome to a guitar chordal lesson. Today we are going to be taking a look at chords you already know how to play and how to move them around on the guitar neck to try and create these nice tense sounds and different unique sounding chords, and hopefully it'll kind of inspire you to play a little bit on your own. Today we're going to take a look at the C chord and how we can move it around the guitar. So you guys know 3rd fret A, 2nd fret. Sorry, let me turn the guitar on. So you guys know 3rd fret A, 2nd fret D, open G, 1st fret B, and open E. So this way we can have a nice happy C chord. And I do have some delays and reverb on just because I'm an ambient guitar player, so I'm going to have them on. So we can take this C chord and we can move it around the guitar. Now, if you wanted to do this on your own, by all means, you're very welcome to do so. But I'm going to give you some very specific landing points that are going to sound really good when you're just sitting down, just kind of trying to play. Now, one of these you probably already know. We have our C chord. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide everything up, but you're going to leave the G and the E strings open. Now, that's important because that's going to create something called pedal point, and it's going to give our ears something to latch and listen to. So we have our C chord, leave them open, and I'll move everything up 2 frets, 1, 2. So now your ring finger should be on the 5th fret, your middle finger should be on the 4th fret of D, and your first finger should be on the 3rd fret of B. And this is going to create a nice sounding D chord because if we just play only those notes, we're going to hear the D chord because we have our D, our F sharp, and another D as well. But what we're going to have is we're going to have still those, the E and the open G, and it's going to create a nice tense sounding chord such as so. And you can go back and forth between these two chords and it'll be fine. And it creates a nice little tension because we do have that F sharp against that G, so it sounds really nice. Now, the other one that we can do is if we come all the way up to the 10th fret. And at first, it kind of almost sounds like it's going to be a G chord because we have G, we have B, we have G again, and we have another G, right? Yes. Make sure you know your fingerboard geography. But that top E kind of gives us the indication of, oh, we are not playing a G chord, we're playing an E minor chord. But this E minor chord is being played over a G, so it's going to give it a different sound than just doing your usual E minor chord there, because this is, after all, called parallel chords, where we're taking the same chord shape and moving it elsewhere. If you'd like to, you can use that open E to get that nice root E, or you can leave that G on the bottom. I like the G on the bottom, it sounds kind of nice. Let's move on to our next one, and it's another fun, easy one because it's just E major. Now we're going to take E major and we're going to slide it around into several different spots because this happens to work out very nicely. Hi, Piper. I don't know if you can see my dog. My dog's off on the side. If not, you can say hi to her in the comments. So you can take this E major chord and slide it around, and again, using the low E and the top E, as well as our open B string as our pedal point. You can take your 2 fingers, your middle and ring finger, slide them up to the 7th fret, and still keep that first finger down on the 6th fret of the G string. And if you want to keep that open E still down, you still can too. And again, pedal point sounds very nicely. So we have the 7th fret, 7, 7, 6. We also have 9, 9, 8. Now this is kind of almost emulating as if we're playing a bar chord, where we're playing the A major bar chord as well as our B major bar chord. So we have E, almost an A chord shape, almost a B chord shape, but we have, you know, those open strings. And we can also go a step up just by going 1 fret higher, and it's going to sound like a C major 7 because we'll still have that open B in there. And it sounds really nice and aggressive against that B going into that C. I like it. It sounds nice. We can also use way up here. We're going really high now. We're going up to the 12th fret and the 11th fret. So we'll have A, we'll have D, and we'll have G flat or F sharp. So almost like a D chord. It's an F sharp. I gotta know my theory. And we have the open B and the E as well. And of course we have the perfect octave once you get up top. So we have perfect octave on the 12th fret for D with those open, C major, again with that open E, B major, A major, and then back down to E. The last one we're going to take a look at is our G chord. Now, I'm going to give it a slight alteration. I'm going to opt for the G major 7 with no third. Now, in order to play this chord, what you're going to do is you're going to take your standard G chord and you're going to change it ever so slightly, but we're basically going to keep our fingers on the same frets, just on different strings. Your ring finger is going to go from the high E string over to the B string, kind of like you would if you were to play your G chord for Time of Your Life, Wonderwall, all those standard. Like, you probably have played this 4-finger G chord in the past. But what we're going to do is, instead of putting our pinky down, we're going to take our first finger and bring it to the 2nd fret of the high E string, and we're going to mute the A string, so this way we can't hear it. Well, you probably could hear it, but in the grand scheme of things, once you play all the strings, you're not really going to hear it. So we'll have 3rd fret, mute, D, G, 3rd fret, and our major 7 on top with the 2nd fret. And there's no third, so there's no B, so we don't know if it could be a G minor major. Who knows? But we're going to have that there, and we're going to drag it on up. Now, this next chord will definitely kind of give you an idea as to where we're going to be going with this, but it is going to sound major because we're going to go to the 8th fret, and we're going to be keeping this, again, parallel, so everything is staying put in the same shape, but we have those still open strings. Now, this is going to give a nice G sound because we have, first off, it is going to be over C because the 8th fret we have is C, we have G, we have G again, and B. And you also have that D string in there too, so it sounds like an inverted G chord with a C in the bass. I love this chord. This chord sounds great. At least I love it. You pair it up with here. It sounds really, really nice. You could go up to the 10th fret as well, but I wouldn't recommend playing the 9th fret, especially if you're coming from here, because you just had a C in our bass, and now you're going to have a C sharp in the top voice. It's not going to sound great. You can, if you want to, readjust where you're going to be putting your fingers. If you want to take your ring finger and put your pinky on the B string and then pointer finger, you could do that, or you can just go straight across. Again, kind of like you could do this here, but I don't know how that'll sound with the way everything's voiced. I would probably just drop that third out. You just have a nice, heavy 5th sounding chord here. And you can treat these chords and put them all together. So, for example, you could have something like with our C chord pattern that we had, combine it with our G. It's not really going to go well with that E chord, but I guarantee you, I'm sure you can probably find a way to use that E major chord pattern as well. But you can do something like this. Our C chord pattern. now we're in our G. You can then, you know, kind of start adding in your alterations on however you else would like to use those chords. And yeah, you can have a little bit of fun with those. If you guys liked this lesson, please be sure to subscribe. I'm going to start kind of putting out a little bit more of these lessons as well. If you're interested in other pedal demos or pedal reviews or tutorials, I also upload those as well, including my own original ambient music. I will also be doing some string quartet things as well and other experimental musical things. And I hope you guys come along for the ride. Be sure to drop a comment if you have any other questions that you guys would like to ask, that you would like to see tutorials of, and hit the bell to make sure, you know, that you get notified next time I release a video. Sometimes it'll be next week. I'm going to try and aim for next week, but, you know, it might be 2 months like my last upload, so I apologize. And otherwise, I'll see you guys around, and enjoy, and have a wonderful day. Bye.